You've learned how you can use XML web services to expose functionality and properties of objects over the web. In this section, you'll learn how to consume XML web services using HTTP GET and POST clients, as well as .NET clients created using ASP.NET. You'll find that there are three basic kinds of clients you can create. There are HTTP GET, HTTP POST, and SOAP clients that can be used with web services. Let's start by looking at HTTP GET and POST requests. How does it all work? Well, if you assume you have a server with ASP.NET installed, you might make a request using HTTP, either GET or POST. The parameters will either be in a URL or in the page you submit if you're using the POST formatting. Then that request comes into ASP.NET, which creates an object which is specified in the code behind file in your web service. The next step is ASP.NET will call methods of your web service. If you think of this blue blob here as your object with various methods, those methods get called by ASP.NET in response to your request coming in from the HTTP object. The responses go back to ASP.NET from your object as results from the method calls. Finally, ASP.NET returns these back to your page as XML, returned to your client via HTTP. We'll see an example of this using both GET and POST, and in either case, the response comes back as XML containing the results. We have two sample HTML files here. One of them uses HTTP GET, and the other uses HTTP POST to make a query of the web service. We'll be using the inventory web service, which you've seen already. Let's start by looking at the test inventory HTTP GET page. I'll open it in a browser, and we'll see there's a very simple link, and this link just calls out to our web service. Now let me just click the link, and you can see that it returns XML back. We have here HTTP www.northwind.com/services. That's the namespace we request the data from, and the result is 86. Now if you look up here at the title bar in the address, you'll see here that the address we went to was HTTP localhost, because I'm hosting this all on this local machine. ASP.NET, that's the location of the web service. It's in a folder, Inventory Web Service, and the web service itself is named inventory.asmx. Now here's the tricky part. To make a request using HTTP GET, what you do is put the name of the method as if it was part of the URL. Get inventory is the name of the method, then a question mark followed by any parameter names equals their value. And that's how this works. Let's modify this just a little bit and call the other web service item. That was get all inventory. If I call get all inventory, I'll get back all of the data in the data set returned by the get all inventory method. You'll see it comes back as XML. Unless you know how to interpret this XML, it's a little difficult to do much with it. Of course, if you create a .NET client rather than an HTML client, it all works out much smoother because you can just bind this to a grid, and we'll see examples of that coming up. The technique is somewhat limited because you can only call web services where you can place the parameters on the command line in the URL. There are many parameter types where that wouldn't really be possible. Let's try the other kind of HTTP request, that is, an HTTP POST request.